The floor plates of Deep Lab 7 vibrated, a deep hum that went right through Ilara's bones. Beyond the thick viewport, the ocean was a storm of colored light. Anax, the blue giant star, cast sharp, cold beams into the depths, while its smaller companion, the red dwarf Pyros, painted everything in a soft, blood-like glow. Between them, the creature moved. It was huge, a living constellation of lights that pulsed and shifted. Firing another sonic burst, Colton said, his hands tight on the controls. Maybe this time it will listen. A high-pitched wave of sound, too high for a human to hear, shot out from the station. The creature, the shimmer, recoiled. Its lights flashed a violent red. It struck the dome, and the whole station groaned in protest. "Stop it, Colton! You're just making it angry!" Ilara shouted, grabbing his arm. "It's trying to break through our hull, Ilara! What do you want me to do? Offer it a cup of tea?" He shot back, shaking her off. "Yes." Paul, the station commander, stepped between them. His face was pale in the flashing emergency lights. "Both of you, calm down!" "What's the status?" "It's still focused on Sector Gamma," Colton said. "Right over the memory bank." Ilara's heart went cold. "The bank? Is it damaged?" Before Paul could answer, a warning appeared on his main screen. "Worse," he said, his voice low. "The last impact knocked out the primary cooling system for the bank. It's overheating. We have maybe 30 minutes before the data starts to corrupt." 30 minutes! 30 minutes until everything they had stored would be gone. 30 minutes until Cyrus was gone for good. His entire life, his personality, his memories, all saved on the station's central memory bank after the accident. A digital ghost she refused to lose. "It's not trying to break the hull," Ilara said, her voice shaking. "It's touching it. Look." She pointed to the viewport. The shimmer wasn't hitting the dome with force anymore. Yes, it was pressing one of its long, glowing limbs against the transparent metal, right over the physical location of the bank. Its lights pulsed in complex, rhythmic patterns. "It's drawn to the energy," Colton argued. "It's a simple animal reacting to a stimulus." "No," Ilara insisted. "Those are not random flashes. That's language. It's trying to talk to the brightest thing down here. And that's not our power core. It's the bank. It's the stored consciousness inside." "This is crazy," Colton said. "We need to use the laser drill. Cut it apart before it finishes us." "Absolutely not!" Paul said firmly. "One mistake with that thing and we'll have the whole ocean rushing in here." He turned to Ilara. "You think it wants to communicate? What do you suggest?" The idea was wild, born from a mix of desperation and hope. "Don't fight it, answer it," she said. "Let me connect to the bank. I can project a memory, a simple coup. Yes, we can convert the neural data into a light pattern and send it through the external comms emitters. Show it we're not a threat, show it we understand." Colton stared at her. "You want to plug your brain into an overheating system that an alien monster is trying to eat? What if it sends a signal back? It could destroy your mind." "It's a risk I have to take," Ilara said, looking from the monster to the warning on the screen. "It's our only chance, and it's Cyrus's only chance." Paul weighed the options. Their defenses were failing. The creature was not leaving. He looked at Ilara's determined face, then nodded slowly. "Do it. Colton, help her with the interface." Colton let out a frustrated breath but did as he was told. He led her to the interface chair, a large, black seat covered in wires and sensors. As he attached the probes to her temples, he spoke quietly. "I hope you know what you're doing, Ilara." "So do I," she whispered. The world dissolved into a sea of information. Yes, she was inside the memory bank. It was not a physical place, but a space of pure thought, of feeling. And everywhere she felt Cyrus. She felt the warmth of his memory of their wedding day. She felt his excitement when he first saw the twin sons of this world. Her own grief was a powerful force, pulling her toward these memories, wanting to get lost in them one last time. She fought the feeling. She couldn't send a complex memory full of love and loss. The creature wouldn't understand. It needed something simpler, something universal. She pushed deeper into the archive, past her own memories linked to his, until she found the oldest ones, the ones from before he knew her. She found it, a memory from Cyrus's childhood on Earth. He was a small boy, standing in a dark field under a single yellow sun that had just set. The air was warm. All around him, tiny points of light were blinking on and off, fireflies. He wasn't afraid. He was filled with a quiet sense of wonder. Yes. He held out his hand, and none of the small lights landed gently on his finger. Curiosity, connection, no fear. That's it, she thought. She grabbed the memory, the pure emotion of it, and focused all her will. "Now, Paul!" she yelled, her voice coming out as a gasp in the real world. "Project it!" In the control room, Paul hit the command. The station's external lights, usually a steady white, began to pulse. They blinked in the soft, gentle rhythm of the fireflies from a world the shimmer had never seen. Outside, the creature froze. The aggressive red glow from its body faded. The heavy pressure on the hull disappeared. The deep vibration stopped. "It's working," Colton breathed, his eyes wide. It stopped. Through the viewport, they watched the shimmer's giant form. Its own lights began to change. They softened, shifting from intense blues and reds to a warm, pulsing gold. The patterns were no longer fast and complex. Now, they were slow, gentle. Yes, it was mimicking the signal. It was learning. It stayed there for a long moment, its golden light a soft question in the deep water. Then, with a final gentle press against the dome, it pulled away. The crew watched as the living constellation turned and swam silently back into the crushing darkness, its light growing smaller and smaller until it was gone. Elara pulled the probes from her head, breathing heavily. The silence in the room was a relief. The warnings on the screens turned from red to green. The memory bank was stable. "You did it," Paul said, a smile of pure relief on his face. "You actually did it!" But then his smile faded. He was looking at a log on his console. "Elara, what is this?" She walked over to his station. On the screen was a directory from the memory bank. There was a new file, one that had not been there minutes ago. It was not labeled with a human name. It was a string of characters that made no sense. Yes. The file's origin was listed as external input, unidentified biological source. When it touched the dome, Paul said slowly, the moment before it left, it didn't just listen. It answered. It sent something back. Elara stared at the strange file. They had saved the station. They had saved Cyrus's memories, but they had done something more. They hadn't yet made first contact. They had exchanged something. A piece of a boy from Earth was now swimming in the mind of a creature in the deep. And a piece of that creature was now here, waiting for them in the quiet dark of the machine. She looked out the viewport into the endless black ocean. The hunt was over. But a new, much deeper exploration was just about to begin. Yes,